Hey everyone, it's Kenj. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to do a little bit of a story time on something that I've never shared with anybody, maybe with my close friends, but I feel like people who are in search of love and are wanting to put themselves out there for a relationship, I feel like this story could be relatable with some of you guys who are also on your journey of finding love for yourselves. So before I get into the story, go ahead, like this video, subscribe down to my channel, and without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so everyone's been using dating apps to meet different people. I've used Tinder, Bumble, everything you can name, Grindr, Scrub, you can name it, I've used to meet different people. And so earlier this year, and normally at the beginning of the year, I typically meet a lot of new faces on dating apps because it's the new year. People are probably resetting their goals, probably trying to find someone to have a relationship with. And so this past year, in February, I actually matched with somebody on Bumble. And so he lives in Atlanta, I live here in South Florida. So as you know, long distance is kind of a sour subject, but I believed that when we matched and when we had the conversations that we were having, it kind of felt like things could work, and I felt that what we believed in, we aligned with. And so I was like, you know what, let me take a chance, let me see if this will go somewhere. And so when we matched, we talked on the phone, we talked text messaging, the conversation was flowing, it just felt like everything was falling into place. And part of myself was really excited to see where this connection would go, and I really wanted it to work, obviously, because who doesn't want a relationship to work or a new connection to work? So after a week of getting to know one another and being on a phone conversation and even being able to FaceTime one another so we knew that we were real and that we weren't catfishes, I did something spontaneous that I don't think most people would do in this case, but I had a 3-day weekend where I was off from work, and I was like, why not just fly up to Atlanta, meet this guy, see if it's gonna work, and if it does, great, we can build upon that connection. If it doesn't work, then oh well, at least we tried. So I consulted with him, and I was like, hey, I have this weekend off, and maybe I can come fly up to Atlanta just to meet you for a day trip and see if that connection is real in person versus online and on text message and FaceTime, and maybe we can build upon that. And he was down for it. He's just as spontaneous about wanting to know as well if we were going to be able to mesh well together in person. And so I booked a ticket, and thankfully I had points to do it, so I didn't really have to pay out of pocket. So I did take a flight up to Atlanta to meet this guy, and I was so excited about meeting him, so excited because it's like, wow, I'm actually doing this, I'm actually going to meet this person, and I'm hoping that things would go well. So when I finally land and he picks me up from the airport, this is where everything changed, really. And when you meet somebody in person, you feel a vibe, you feel their energy, and I'm just one person who can pick up on that very quickly. And so when I finally met him and we got in the car, I just felt like the vibe was just not there like how it was when we were talking on the phone. And it left a little question in my mind, but I put it in the back seat. I had that on reserve because I wanted to see how this experience would move forward. So we ended up having and spending the day together. We did get to know one another. He works from home, so he did have some work from home that he had to finish up, but during that whole time that we were together, we fooled around, we had fun, we talked, we watched movies, but all within that experience of that 24 hours, it really just felt like I was just a person that was there and that there wasn't really this like emotional connection. I'm not gonna put out his business because he had come from a past where he was married. He came out as bisexual. He had not experienced having a relationship with a guy before. So there were so many obstacles that I learned during this trip that made me realize, I'm like, okay, so there's certain things that we will have to address, because this is something that I need to, if I'm gonna get into this, I need to be able to be upfront and we'll have a conversation about it. So there were certain aspects about the trip that really opened my eyes, and honestly, it really helped me grow emotionally. We did have a great time together. We definitely vibed physically. Like, we did have a great physical, like, passionate connection. But when it comes to wanting to be in that relationship and wanting to build something upon that, it wasn't that I wasn't ready. He was not in the right mind frame to be able to give me what I needed. And I realized that very quickly. When he was dropping me off at the airport the next day, I did have a conversation with him in the car. And I said, I noticed that you're not emotionally there. And I felt it the entire time that we were together. And he was very gracious, and he was very open-minded to what my thoughts and my feelings about the whole situation. And he can definitely see where he may have not been there and being present in the moment. And we discussed, trying to see if we can still continue as friends and seeing where it will go in the future. But after that trip, I knew in my heart that it was just not gonna work. And so even with the long distance and us trying to even continue a friendship, it was just not feasible, and it was just not conducive to both our lives and what we wanted in the future. And so there were just certain things that just didn't align when we were together. However, I didn't regret any of the experience, because it definitely taught me that I can be spontaneous, that I can go after what I want, and even if it doesn't work out, I'll be okay. And so it's taken me a very long time to get to that point. And I was emotionally hurt, not gonna lie. I cried when I got back home. It was just something that, it was such a disappointment that I wanted something like that to work. But if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And so this person, I don't wish him any ill. I hope that he's doing well now, and I hope that he's emotionally grown and has been able to let go of some of the baggage from his previous marriage. Being open to other opportunities with other people, whether it be men or women, so that he's able to let go of some of that baggage. And so I would always say that if you have the opportunity to take a chance on love, regardless of the distance, regardless of what the circumstances are, I truly believe that you should totally go after it, because you never know where it could lead. And even though for my story it was not like a happy ending, I'm very happy that I went through it and that I did it, because it's something that I've experienced and I'm able to share with you guys, to let you know, like, it's worth it. It's totally worth it, and you won't regret it, honestly. And so that concludes my story of going and meeting somebody, a stranger that I've never met in person, to figure out if love was in the cards for us. Unfortunately, it was not. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this story, and hopefully you were able to, relate to it, pick up some nuggets for yourself, and understand, like, just do it and just go out and take a chance. But other than that, that concludes my story, and I am very happy that you guys watched this video. Again, go ahead, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and if you do like more content like this, definitely leave your feedback in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye!